Wait, am I not on this list?
There you are.
Here. Oh my god. Hold on 1 second.
Holding on.
So, Corbinian, you're just co-GMing, not playing?
Yeah.
Mhm. Cool.
Hello, I'm back. I'm sorry for that. Literally, the moment we're about to start, I get a phone call. Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm ready. Are we live?
We are.
Okay. Welcome to Star Trek Adventures. My name is Mecca. I am not the normal host of this. However, the server we're on is running a special event where people are giving their GMs a break and letting someone else run. And the theming for this year is a cadet-themed one-shot. So that's what we're doing today. Yeah. Any other introductions you need to get out of the way, Corbinian?
Why, yes, this is the Electric Metropolis. I'm AD Springer, also known as Corbinian, and yeah, I'm just here as co-GM and technical support. But so you say stuff in chat, I'll actually be able to pay attention. Yes, this is all Mecca. So if this
Alrighty.
goes well, be sure to thank me. If it goes poorly, be sure to blame Mecca. Don't yell at me.
You know, we only got 2 players because a lot of people were busy this week, and it removes a lot of pressure. Okay, so it is April of 2383. This is a couple months in the past from where the main game is currently set, and this is around the time where for most school people the year is winding down. Yeah, they have some exams coming up, but they're looking forward to getting the summer semester off or to go do other fun things. And well, that's not the case for our cadets, who are all in their final year of the academy and who all find themselves about to undergo the gambit that is their final exams. So you get awoken on Monday with the orders that all of you are to assemble in the main assembly hall to hear a speech from your professors.
All right. Yeah,
And we will be.
hopefully,
Go ahead, sorry.
uh, you know, gets on the kind of land mobility suit from her room, which is, of course, underwater. Probably in the San Francisco Bay, honestly, considering
Yeah,
we're
it's
at the academy.
probably a little annex in the bay, like a little walled
Yeah,
off
yeah,
part of the bay. Yeah, that'd be cute.
yeah. Um, Gets that on and grumbles something a little bit, and then starts, floating up along towards the hall.
Okay, so let me place you guys down, and we'll be theater of minding most of this.
I guess I should have got an image. I left the
It's
default one
okay.
say still Suleiman.
Yeah, that's why I was confused at first. That said exocomp, but you're Suleiman. No, Suleiman's the Sultan. Is that everyone? Nope, missing one more. Yes, and our other player is an exocomp, which, yes, let's class. Okay, so everyone is assembled in the Academy's large central assembly square. You have 3 professors up at front. This is Professor Tavral, this is Professor Tawoye, and this is Professor Dahl of Command, Medical, and Engineering, respectively. And once, there are hundreds of students in here all clamoring and chattering, and once Nwoye steps forward, the clamoring and chattering quiets down, and he says, "Welcome, cadets. I know this is a stressful time for all of you, but we wanted to assemble you here to remind you of what you're about to go through. Your final exam will consist of 3 segments. First will be the written portion of your exam. Then will come the active part of your exam, in which you will be tested in your fields directly, and then the collaborative part of your exam, in which you will work together to overcome a problem. Final exams begin in 3 weeks' time, which means you have 3 weeks to do any cramming or studying, because I know some of you have not been keeping up with that, but all of our doors are open for any assistance you may need, and I strongly encourage you to seek out each other during this time for support, for this will be a gambit and one that you cannot perform alone. Thank you. And with that, you are dismissed. You have 3 intervals until exams begin, at which point you will begin undergoing some tests. You can spend those intervals in a couple different ways. Studying will require a roll, and if you succeed, you get an advantage. If you want to cram, the roll becomes harder, but if you fail, you can suffer burnout. You can undergo an extracurricular, which means you won't be able to study, but you will get some extra points. Or you can attempt to seek aid from one of your professors. Yeah, the floor is yours at this point.
What do you mean points?
Well, see, I'm keeping track of points for how well you do on all the tests throughout all of this, and that will affect whether or not your cadet gets a good posting at the end of this.
Oh,
Oh, okay. What is the role to study?
Well, it depends on which part of the 3 exams you want to study. You are a con officer, correct?
Yes.
Okay, let me pull up your sheets.
Daring con officer.
Uh-huh. So totally wants to be a fighter pilot.
Starfleet always
Starfleet
needs
doesn't love
pilots
that, but
who are good at ramming. There's
Uh-huh.
daring pilots who can do that.
Comes up all the time. Okay. Okay. Well, if you were studying for the written portion of the exam, it would probably be something like reason science, or if you were attempting to study for a specific part of the exam, you could convince me on something else. If you wanted to study for the more active part of the exam, that might be a slightly different role. Which part were you leaning towards?
I think that totally needs to study for the written exam a lot more than the practical.
Okay.
Because that's not where grades are going. So study for the written exam.
Okay. And the other NPCs here, is there a way to show character names under tokens? GM? Just GM. Corbinian.
Yep. You double click them. You hit the nameplate check mark. Then there's the 3 little dots. You make sure they have player permission. Then you save the settings. That happened.
Okay, so you can see the professors' names now.
Nope.
No, I can see Cadet Sada, and that's all.
Oh, did I miss the dots for the players?
Yep.
Where's
We can see them as GMs, but they can't.
Where are the 3 dots? I don't see them.
Next to they're next to token bars. They're above represents character and all that. Stacked on top of each other.
Here we go.
I can see Javral now.
There we go. There we go. All right. I will tell you, these are all people who are bunkmates, classmates, people you know. I will tell you right now. Oh, did we not get? Here we go. I will tell you right now. Of these ones, Sada is an engineering student. Avath, son of Lorg, is a excuse me. Sada is a security student. Avath, son of Lorg, is an engineering student. Korhesh is a science student. Cordero is a medical student. Sherhoff is a command student, and Auburn is a con student.
Can't see names on this one and this one.
I'll fix that now.
Thank you.
I don't know if I want to join any clubs with Koresh in them.
Yeah?
A little suspicious of him.
What's wrong with him?
I've only ever known one other person with the last name Koresh, and he's,
That'll be fine.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know what the reference is. Did
David
I make...
Koresh, the founder of the Branch Davidians. People who got in the shootout with cops in Wake.
All of these are random space names. Well, outside of the humans are random space names. Yes, Gorhesh has gray hair and is much older than the rest of the cadets, but as far as I know, he's not a member of a cult.
Well, could be.
Okay. You I did all this because if you wanted to, you could seek aid from one of these other students, which, if they help you, they help you, and if they don't, they they might wind up wasting your time. Or you can study by yourself. The choice is yours.
Oh. What am I bad at?
Walking.
Correct. Correct. I am bad at that. I should really consult with all these humanoids about walking. That'll help me on the test for sure. I think. Are either of these are either Sota or Jason command track?
They're both yellow shirts. Sada is a security student. Jason is con. Sherhoff is command.
Okay, cool. I will talk to Cadet Sherhoff about getting some of the finer rules and regulations of what you're allowed to do down a little bit more. Let's talk about strict definitions of what's strictly allowed in the test. in return, I'll trade some advice on the things that I'm better at.
Yeah, when you go up to talk to her, she seems surprised and she says, "Ugh, now, I'm very confident in my ability to be class valedictorian. However, I did not expect anyone would expect me to help them. From my point of view, this is a competition, and, well, if you do poorly, that means I do relatively better. Um, is this going to be presence? Ooh, I would say presence con here because she's not very good at con and she would accept help from you in that field if you convince
Okay.
her. This is going to be presence con diff 2 to get her to help you study.
Can I argue for insight here, in like determining exactly which areas of con I need to help her with?
Sure, if you are, I can see it. Sure.
2 whole points better. Don't believe I have focus for this. What's the difficulty on the roll?
2.
2. All right. I will give you a threat for a 3rd die then.
Okay.
And my 3-dimensional thinking helps me out here, so I have a complication range of 0.
Mm.
Wonderful. I made it.
You did succeed. Okay. In that case, she will be rolling an assist on your study check for this round.
Wonderful.
Okay, let me just grab her stats. Okay, here's how studying works, right? For every additional advantage you want to get on the test, that raises the difficulty by that raises the that ranges the difficulty and complication range by 1. Failing is graduated, so as many successes as you get determines how many advantages you get. However, complications will give you increasing levels of burnout as you push yourself too far. Yeah. How difficult do you want to make this for yourself? How much are you burning the midnight oil?
I think I'm studying, but like not that hard, honestly.
Okay.
Like maybe like a difficulty of 3 or whatever.
Okay. So that's comp range 3. And I will accept insider reason here. Those seem like the most applicable.
Take reason. And the discipline.
Because all of these skills are kind of going to be used equally in studying, I think you can just use any of them.
Cool. I'd like to grab con then.
Yep.
See, I'm heading difficulty 3, so I'm going to give you 3 threat for to roll 4 dice.
Okay.
Now from the perspective of a student.
Mm-hmm.
This is a matter of, graduation or not. This is high stakes. I
This
would
is a
focus on
matter.
survival.
Yeah, this is a matter between being assigned to a California class and being assigned to the Enterprise.
Exactly. This is a matter of survival. I'd like you to focus on survival.
No.
Shit. You worked that one up a lot.
Yeah.
I was totally willing to go wherever you were going until then.
Oh yeah. Reason con 4. Yeah. Comp range 0. Woo!
Hold on. Just checking some things.
Well, it wouldn't be comp 0, it'd be comp 2, but still.
Yeah, you're right.
The complication went up with every level of difficulty, so you're right.
Yeah.
It should comp 2 because you're.
Yep.
Okay.
Reduced by 1.
Good golly.
Okay. So you got 5 successes. So, yep.
An extra.
That means you get oh god, okay. You get 5. I'll stick by what I said. You get 5 advantages on the written exam.
Yeah. I feel like this is mostly bribing my fellow classmate, but you know.
Okay. Here's what I'll say about Shishirov. She studies with you and she does help you, but she maintains a strong professional distance from you. And you teach her, and she seems to be paying attention and listening to you, but she always seems a bit distant. And whenever you ask her about it, she seems very confident in her ability to be top of the class.
Uh-huh.
All right.
You know, I'll bite back any comments at the moment, but you know. There will be some fantastic video calls happening after exams and studying are done.
6s, how are you spending your first turn?
What extracurriculars are available?
Oh,
Is it like sports or?
The academy has got everything. I will let you say that you have been participating in any kind of extracurricular you can think of.
Then we have only a short amount of time before the Pre-C Squares Championship Finals this year.
Yeah,
and we're in it this year. We're in the running, so gotta spend some time working on that.
Okay. Okay, I'm trying to remember which one is Pre-C Squares. It's like fake tennis.
Fake basketball, football,
kind
sorta.
of. It's like the mixture of rugby, football, tennis, but also the whole thing about it is that it's unnecessarily dangerous.
Yeah, okay, right. Because this is a future in which injuries no longer have serious consequences, so you can do blood sports. Okay.
Unless you're the doctor's holographic daughter, I'm pretty sure she dies from playing Pre-C Squares.
You know, it's all worth it in the pursuit of fame and glory.
Also, she didn't exist, so I guess it's okay.
Okay. Sure. Okay. The Pre-C Squares Championship. So let me mark that down on your scorecard.
Previously endangering biological. -10 to merit. Wait, that's a good thing.
No one's ever cried over a couple of Vulcan science cadets getting a little bit knocked around in a Pre-C Squares game.
No, never. I also don't know how a non-humanoid such as you plays in this, but you know, there's adaptive rules.
Well, they better, or there's a lawsuit in their future.
You know, you bring up a good point. Okay, in that case, sure. I will say Cadet Auburn, the con student, and Cadet Avath, the engineering student, are both also participating. And I'm going to make this roll. Ooh. It's a pretty violent game. and I think you gotta keep your eyes open. You gotta keep peeled. I'm going to say this is fitness security. And I'm going to spend 2 threat and say the other team is playing a bit dirty. So things are especially violent. They're also very much in it to win it. And so, oh, I have not been keeping track of momentum. Sure, Corbinian, you can keep track of it.
Okay.
They are playing a bit violent. So we'll say this is difficulty 3, 2 additional comp range, and you get 2 assists.
Okay. I'll spend that 2 momentum, if it works for you, on the advantage that this is the first season in 6 years or so that we've made it this far. So there's a lot of energy from the crowd pushing us forward.
Sure.
All right. And then I will go ahead and spend 3 threat, because I don't actually have a good score in this, because I did not think when making this character what I wanted to do was play
3 squares.
3 squares. Can I make an argument for xenobiology on the idea that I intentionally maneuver to score in ways that are difficult for humans to
Comprehend?
flex?
Okay.
Well, not
Corvi-
comprehend. It's like he could block me, but like he's probably gonna twist an ankle or something trying to do it, because I know how flexible you are.
Sure. I'll accept it. I'll accept that complication range, because this also relies on you diverting mental attention away from your own ball game to thinking about that.
So what's the total comp range?
+1 is 3.
No, +1 is 4, because you're always at 1.
Yep.
You're never at 0 unless you've got some kind of.
Yeah, unless
Well,
you're
what-
me, you're not at 0.
Well, your default is at 1, and then it's +1 because they're playing dirty, and
Two.
+1 because you're distracted, so that's 3.
That is how math works.
Okay. Yes, I did it wrong.
For a person with so many numbers in his character name.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'm gonna need some help on those assists. Hey.
Okay. Jason Auburn comes in clutch. You know, all he ever talks about is his great important dad, Commander Jeffrey Auburn, and his dad was also in the Precy Square team, so he had to join because he's got to be just like him.
Legacy.
Okay. And Cadet Ava does not talk very much. However, he is on the team, and he's going to roll 2. Okay.
Yeah, kind of in between plays, just kind of glance over to Auburn, knowing he's gonna burn out in like 4 or 5 years when he actually has to stick with the career, not just because his dad liked it, because he has to like it too. Oh, it's gonna be sad.
I'll give you insight medicine, diff 1, to see what his mental state is like, or diff 2, we'll say.
Oh, sure. Feel like emergency repair is going to be needed here.
Of his psyche?
I mean,
yeah, you can do that, right?
no.
I
But,
hope.
Xenobiology?
No, I'm sorry. You
Okay.
would want a psychology or something.
I'm only pre-med.
I
specifically didn't take surgery because I was like, no, that's something you'd only get after going to medical school. And unlike everybody else here who is going to the fleet, I still have another 4 years of school.
Yep.
Which also begs the question: why am I so focused on getting a good assignment? It doesn't matter.
Well, I didn't realize that, but sure, you're looking to get into a good medical school.
Hey, you can still get a bad medical posting. Welcome
Wait,
to
I thought
helping.
the academy graduated people in medical straight to the fleet.
No, it's the other way around. You, you go first. Yeah, I had this question, so I looked it up in at least how STA views it in the sciences division, and it is that you graduate from the academy and then you go to Starfleet Medical,
Okay.
and then you graduate from there a lieutenant.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So you get to skip ensign, but you do have to
Yes,
spend more years
I
in school.
believe that's why Julian Bashir is an LTJ in the first season of Deep Space Nine, despite that being his first posting.
That makes sense.
Okay. Okay, yeah, you don't know what is going on behind his head. He just seems very focused on making his dad proud. Okay.
Alright.
Okay. Yes, you win the Breezy Square tournament. The other team was playing dirty. Some people got nicked and bruised, but everyone's okay. 1 or 2 fouls were called, but nothing that sticks. And now, because of all that, you've won the Breezy Square tournament, which will give you, which looks better on your final score when people are considering where you are going to be posted. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna
On
get
to
one of
week
those
2.
captains who likes a good team player.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Locally, it is your go.
All right. Just a second. Putting away groceries because I got a grocery delivery.
No problem.
Be interesting is introducing sixes should they do well. Halanak Station's work characters, but that's going to be a me problem.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I'm just going to move the cadets from this. Assuming they do well in this test, they may get a posting down in the future as as ensigns.
Have medical school in it.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm thinking, right? It would probably be something
Mhm.
like you'll it's like, oh, I got to go to I'm going to the FIS medical school, which is something where
Okay, so if it'd be the inverse, really, right? If Sixes does really bad, then he goes to the FIS's medical school, which is like 100 years behind.
All right, I am back. Let's see. Round 2, I think Tuxley is going to try do some extracurriculars as well. I think what the extracurricular is.
Water polo, might I suggest?
I think I have an advantage in that.
I mean, I would guess a Klingon would have some advantages in Parisi squares, but they let them compete.
True.
Your trade of dolphin would give you an advantage in that. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah, sure, we'll do that.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Rysian water polo.
Rysian water polo. Okay.
It's just better. I don't know how, but it's just better.
it's safer.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
We'll say it's safer. The water's like a nice balmy 75 degrees. Okay. I don't think anyone else is playing water polo with you. So yeah. You guys are going up against the one other water polo team in all of Starfleet Academy.
The Klingon could
But
really
it's for
love
the Jonathan
water polo.
Archer Award of water polo, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say this is less dangerous than Parisi squares, but therefore a little bit less impressive. So we'll say difficulty 2, no complication increase from danger.
All right.
Like watching competitive beach volleyball. It's pretty safe, but very touristy. Or can be
Yeah,
very
exactly.
touristy.
Um, two.
Well, I mean, it'd be like that, except if one of the competitors was just like,
Shark?
well, no, like if all the competitors were like 10-year-olds, and then just like one person was like a world champion.
Yeah, it is a little bit like if you had like height of his career Shaquille O'Neal go up against like a local high school basketball team.
Yeah, I
At a certain
mean, you
they're no
know,
longer really playing the same sport.
I want to imagine that like half of the people doing this are aquatic in some manner.
Yeah, there's like some rule about you must have a roughly equal number of cetaceans between teams.
Yeah,
They've got an orca on their team.
you know, there's a Ziddy aquatic somewhere in
Mhm.
the mix. Um,
Some kind of octopi like species, yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Surprisingly, a forward, you wouldn't think that. You think be goalie, but no, they really like
Yeah.
to attack. You see,
Um, yeah, absolutely. Uh, I mean, this seems like daring security or daring con to me.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to name that, but that sounds fair to me.
I will take con then. I don't think my survival focus is gonna proc here.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Not unless you are fighting these people to the death. At which point you might have other concerns than graduation.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Right. I mean, I did this to myself. I could have picked a different extracurricular.
It's all about expanding your horizon.
Yeah. So what's the complication range on this?
Just normal. Because this is a lot less of a violent sport.
Cool. Okay, so I then get it reduced to 0. I'm making a con roll here.
Yes. And you're getting one free
Three-dimensional
hit
strength
from
roll.
being an aquatic species. So
Wonderful. I'm gonna give 1 threat still.
go ahead.
And roll 3. Okay, that's 3 hits on a diff 2.
Okay. So, yep, you are able to win against the one other team. And, well, the trophy is a lot less impressive compared to what the Greasy Square one is. And you will learn that upon going back to your dorms, how it's quite a bit smaller. But, it's still a trophy. And, some captain out there when reviewing assignments might take note of this.
Yeah,
All right.
maybe. Hopefully.
Sixes. What are you spending your second week on?
So we've now had we have two championship teams this year. So it's time to engage in a little bit of good old fashioned college partying and general merriment, including, I think, the necessity of a good prank, of which
Ooh,
I
yeah,
have in
yeah.
mind
Uh-huh.
covertly acquiring one of the Academy commander's uniforms and hanging it from the flagpole.
Okay.
I'm down for this.
Okay.
Well, we're good to have you cheer from the silence. I don't think you can sneak around.
I can basically fly.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Give me an insight check to figure out which other cadets would be most liable to help you in this situation, and give me an insight check to see which cadets would be, or which professors would take this in the most good faith manner. We'll say difficulty 2 on both.
All right.
I feel like it's like somehow going to be Tavral takes this in good faith.
Vulcan's known for
I
their
don't know
humor.
why. Yeah, it's just like
because this is a
you wouldn't
question
think
of
so, but
this is the question of state of mind, medicine.
Sure, I'll take that.
I'll give you 2 threat and spend 1 momentum.
Okay. Okay. So for your first check, okay. You know that Cadet Jason Auburn feels pretty confident that he can rest on the laurels of his great important father, the legendary Commander Jeffrey Auburn, and that he's relatively confident he would participate in this because he doesn't think it would hurt him. And you think Cordero seems to mostly be here to have fun and make friends. And if this sounds like this will be a way to have fun and make friends, then she would also go along with it. Now another check to guess which of your professors would be most liable to take this in good faith.
All right.
Answer is none of them.
I will give you 2 and spend 1.
Okay.
Momentum.
Okay. Professor Dole, he does not have a rank unlike the other two because he was an enlisted man in his time. He would consider himself a man of the people, and as such would laugh along with you if you did such a thing.
All right. Then
And you made 2 momentum off those rolls, so I think they're up to 3.
They spent 1 each time, though.
Okay, they did. Okay. So what's your plan to acquire the uniform?
Well, 6s is more knowledgeable about navigation in tight spaces. So, during one of the on-site lectures on one of the ships in orbit, right, on one of the practicals, I will navigate to his quarters through Jeffrey's tubes.
Okay. Do you want your assistants to distract him, or do you just hope he's not there? Or are you waiting for him to be in a lecture?
Yeah. Auburn and Cadero, or Auburn is supposed to be lookout, and Cadero is supposed to find him and ask a bunch of really complex engineering
Technical.
questions.
Okay, go ahead. You will get 2 assists off of this. Okay, in order to navigate through a tight space and make it into a room, I would accept security or con, and then probably fitness or control.
Okay, I'll take control con. Focus in internal starship navigation.
Sure, it works for me.
You'll see why I picked this location.
That's a great focus. I love it.
I'll spend the 1 momentum.
Go ahead. Okay. Oh,
Oh no.
Okay. Is that what you just rolled?
Yeah, I was waiting for their assists before I decide what to do about the comp.
Okay, so that's... Okay, you're probably not going to get assists off of this.
All right. Then I am going to activate my value. Never trust a single sensor, always verify. Because, as I'm coming up onto his room, my life signs sensor may say he's not in there, but, he keeps the room very cold or whatever. So I'll switch over to like a thermal sensor or something just to double check that I'm not reading that he's in the room wrong.
And you would be correct, because when you swap to thermal, you detect an additional sensor barrier you did not expect. If you had continued just a mere 2 feet further, the ship would have registered you as an unknown contaminant in the ventilation system and promptly ejected you into space.
I would have been wrong.
Okay. And you rerolled. I believe I said it was Diff 2, so yes, you get 1 momentum. And you manage to push open a grate and make it into his room. I will say, in his room, you see this, sort of classic memorabilia pieces of. He lives up here. We'll say he lives up here as an engineer. He finds it comforting to live on a ship. You see some memorabilia and items of his work in the service. You do see a closet with multiple copies of his uniform, including including a dress uniform variant and some other ones. And you are in the room of a college professor. You see opened on his desk a pad that says class of 2383 grades right on it.
Temptation.
All right. Well, I'm going to steal me a uniform then
Okay.
and leave.
Okay. Good judgment call. Yes, you are able to steal the uniform and make it back out the way you came. So you're going to go down to the planet next time you get and hang this up on the flagpole.
Yeah, whenever we have like the campus celebration for the victories or whatever, I will I'll raise the uniform up on the flagpole then.
Okay. We'll say this flagpole specifically in this part of campus has 2 flags on it: the Federation flag and a flag with the Starfleet emblem on one side and the Academy symbol. We'll say 3 flags then: a Starfleet flag, a Academy flag, and the Federation flag. Which one are you replacing with his uniform?
Will Baker go home? Do the Federation flag?
I'll do the Academy flag.
Okay. You will replace the Academy flag. Okay. I'm going to spend 2 threat and say that you showed up pretty early in the morning when you thought no one would be around, but there are lots of people cramming for their physical exam, so a lot of people have picked up early morning runs. You have to be a bit more cautious than you expected around this. Complication range increase by 1, and we'll make this difficulty 1, control engineering to remove the old flag and replace it with the new flag.
All right. I'm going to use extra power supply to generate a is it sonic screwdriver here or is it Doctor Who?
Sonic screwdriver is
Doctor
Doctor
Who.
Who.
Okay, because the one in the science book is really close to that. It's like it may be like hypersonic or
I think Hyperspanner, or so that might be Star Wars. I will give you.
No, Star Wars has the Hydro Spanner.
Okay, I will give you the +1 for having the correct tool to unlatch this and relatch this.
all right. So that makes it a div 0. which
All
I'll
right.
spend 1 momentum on.
So you get 2 momentum. You replace the flag, and it is early enough in the morning that not yet everyone has noticed. Although, when people muster for an assembly shortly to commemorate the anniversary of some great battle, we'll say during the Earth Romulan War, people will start to notice. Do you want to draw people's attention to it? Do you want to tell people that you did it, or do you just want to leave it as it is?
Guess how much does the grapevine know about those?
I'll mention it to some people so it gets around like
Okay.
the class, but I won't shout it too loudly.
Okay, and I'm sorry, what were you saying, Frolic?
Oh, I was just saying, like, I wonder how much it goes around the grapevine.
Hmm. Yeah, okay. So, when the school musters for assembly, everyone lines up. There is some giggling and breaking of ranks as people notice what has been done. Eventually, at some point, a faculty member catches on. They get someone to lower the flag. They look inside. They find it's marked to Professor Dole. And a brief investigation will commence. This is, the Academy is used to pranks like this, and Professor Dole he takes it in good faith. He laughs at the assembly when he learns who it is, but some other professors are less happy. So this will be an opposed security check from campus security. As they will begin looking into computer records, or not computer, but sensor records to see if they can determine who did this. I will say they're rolling, we'll say a 9 and a 3 with a focus. And we'll say someone on campus security is looking for a promotion. They're going to spend 3 for 2 extra dice.
And the task is
Opposed control security.
all right.
I'm definitely willing to help out with those.
Well, I didn't want to drag anyone else into it.
Well, it's not like you could drag much anyway.
You could drag that uniform just fine.
Random shot of a little near and a fluttering uniform as they're flying along.
All right, I will spend 2 momentum and a threat.
Okay. So that is 2 successes.
A tie, I believe.
Yes, there's 4 successes, 4 successes.
You also rolled 1, 2 for you dice.
Oh, I sure did. Okay. I think that gives them +1. So yeah, nothing serious happened. Actually, no, I will let you get assists from your 2 co-conspirators first. They help you to cover things up.
Like, you already dragged in at least 2 other people. So. screwing their academic careers with your tomfoolery.
Oh, why won't you work roll 20? Okay. Auburn is jittering. He's sweaty. He's got nerves. He feels bad about this now. He says, "Oh my God, my dad's going to be so disappointed in me." He is of no help in attempting to hide what you did. Cordero, well, let's hope she fares a bit better. Well,
Yay.
she's able to come up with some help. This is a tie. I will say they find some evidence that points to someone in your dorm room is doing this. But they can't nail down specifics, and it's not big enough to worry about, so the whole thing is dropped. All right, I believe that moves us into week 3. I will say if you want a mental check-in on some of your some of your colleagues and
Co-conspirators.
co-students. Yeah, wrong word. Auburn seems to be a nervous wreck at this point, very obviously nervous for the tests. Not really studying because he seems a little bit too nervous to study. Shirhath is very confident. She believes that she has long believed she could be class valedictorian and has long tried to be, and she thinks this is the year she'll pull it off. Cordero is just having fun. She's putting in some amounts of studying, but she's not worried about it. Korhesh is, he's quiet. He's studying a lot. He's not interacting with most other people. You get the sense that he probably believes he can do well. It's just because he seems to know a lot and seems to study a lot. Sada is the most vocal in offering to help other people, to check in on them, to make sure they're okay and that they need the help they've got. Is also a very quiet type, although you believe he's probably likely to do well, considering he was admitted here from the Klingon Empire, and they don't typically do that unless the cadet has something to offer.
Mm-hmm. I would like to go and talk to Seta and try to rally forces together and go and try and get Jason back on track.
Okay. So this is what I'll say. If you would like to assist one of your fellow cadets, you will be burning into your own study time in exchange for helping them. They will be grateful for this, but your grades will not be. You would like to do this?
I would.
Okay. Are you doing this in addition to your normal studies, or are you doing this in place of your normal studies?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me roll it. Let me roll a die here.
Okay.
In place of.
Okay. Then I will say the check to get Jason to calm himself down and to get back on track. This will probably be either a presence. How are you going about this? I'll say it like that. Are you approaching him as a friend, as a colleague? Who are you offering his help, or are you trying to, be more forceful and order him to obey, or else? Considering the or else here is not graduating.
I think this is as a friend. Like, hey, buddy, I'm a little worried. You seem like you're stressing out. Can we arrange a study session or something? Let's try and get this sorted out.
All right,
Hey.
then I would say this is a presence check.
Mm-hmm.
Go with science because that's the most academic, but I could be convinced of another one. And this will be. He seems a little bit far gone at the moment. I'll say difficulty 3.
Okay. And is Sasha helping with this?
Yes, she is more than willing to help. Although first she does press you about your own grades and how you think you are doing and whether or not you think you will succeed.
I'm absolutely gonna succeed. There's no worry about that at all.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's
And
how that
she
conversation
is
goes.
rolling security because she is playing the bad cop to your good cop and being a lot more aggressive in the sense of, Jason, you need to get back on track or you are flunking.
Yeah. What's her present?
Her presence is 10.
Oh, she should lead this then,
Okay.
because I have a 7.
Okay. Will you let her spend a threat?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Fantastic. And I'm assisting with present science. No focus. Well, I'm not helpful, but I'm there.
Was
You
your
are
idea?
Yeah.
So,
Like,
so you and Sata go up to Jason. Just most cadets are bunked 2 to 4 to a room, but for some reason he managed to get one of like the odd end rooms that's not quite big enough for 2 people, so it only fits 1 person. He got to be the lucky guy without a roommate. No one really knows how he got that.
no,
And you knock on
absolutely.
his
Everyone
door.
knows. Everyone knows.
You knock on his door and he eventually lets you in and you talk to him. You offer some words of encouragement and you make him feel a little bit better about himself, but most of it is Sada going full cop mode. She's ready to become a security officer. You can see she's just itching for the authority of enforcing law on a station or on a starship, and she's very blunt and matter of fact with him of you are a 3rd generation Starfleet officer. You cannot disappoint your father at this time. You have to do better than this. You are better than this. We are going to make sure that you fix yourself. And she assigns him a very rigorous study, very rigorous schedule of studying. And she generates, I said the task was difficulty 3, so she generates 1 momentum. And he seems pretty rattled by this and more than a little scared of her. And so he's willing to go along with it. And now, so you are doing this in place of your normal studies. You and her are helping him. I would like you to roll me if you're doing this in addition, it would be endurance, but no, you were doing this in place of. So I need you to roll me a reason science check to keep up on all of your academics, without just coast on what you already know without any future studying for this week. I will make that. I'll spend 2 threat and make it difficulty 3.
Am I arguing here for the survival of my academic career?
No, I'm sorry.
I'm not.
I finally understand what it's like to be on the other side of arguing for very academic focuses, though. I feel your pain now, Corbinian.
Oh,
don't
I
worry,
think
it'll
it's
linger.
so funny. So funny. Let's see. It's police story. Yeah. Well, I mean, considering my trunk, can I argue for home operation stuff here?
Sure. I'll concede that you're kind of coasting on the knowledge you already have.
Cool. That makes it slightly better. Do I just want to spend here? Maybe? No. No, I will, I'm gonna dump 6 threat here.
Okay.
Full mit. I'm rolling a 12.
Oh, oh, oh.
See?
Okay.
There we go.
It
I
was
know
worth
the
it.
math at least.
And I am spending 2 of that because an NPC did something after this roll that you are not fully aware of.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I believe that concludes your week. You are very noble, and you no longer focus on helping yourself, but rather helping someone who could wind up taking your place or being your competitor. You and Sada drill him very rigorously and help him cram. A lot of caffeinated beverages are consumed, and he seems much more back to a baseline on the day of finals. All right. That leaves 6s. What are you doing for your 3rd week?
I am going to download and cross-reference every possible morsel of data that could be relevant to the exams.
Okay. So the way studying works is your number of successes is the number of advantages you get. But rather every difficulty increases the complication range, and every complication is burnout. So what do you want your complication range to be?
I want the successes to be I'll go with 5.
Yeah, you're going maximum difficulty 5. And are you studying for the written portion of the exam or the active portion of the exam?
The active.
Okay, you are a medical student, so that means you comb over every data, you cross-reference what everyone's done. It seems to involve a lot of surgical or not for you because you are in pre-med. It seems to involve all sorts of medical roles, mostly relating to, because you are in Starfleet and not in you are in Starfleet and you are not in a regular medical school. Most of them seem to involve a lot more active scenarios than any normal pre-med school, so it's a lot more less testing your ability to learn medicine, because that will come once you're in Starfleet Medical, but your ability to practice the medicine you already do know under varying degrees of pressure. So this will be a control medicine task. The difficulty, the complication range is 5, which means you can get a maximum of 5 successes. And yeah, Cordero will offer to assist you because she is also in your medical class and you have something of a rapport with her now.
Sonic driver, that's what it is.
Sonic driver. It's when the hedgehog gets in a car.
All right. I would like to spend from extra power supply a opportunity to get access to something like a larger battery, or maybe like a larger data connection to a terminal to increase what I can do.
Sure. I will say you are able to artificially inflate your battery life by consuming extra powerfully charged batteries, letting you stay active for longer. That will give you 1 advantage to lower the difficulty to 4.
All right. And do you want to call that an opportunity of 1 or 2?
It's usually 2 to lower the difficulty, I believe. So we'll say 2.
All right. focus in xenobiology.
Yep, that is a big part of your exams.
And then I will spend 1 momentum and 5 threat.
Momentum and 5 threat. Okay.
Oh, the humanity.
Or lack thereof.
It's not the worst thing in the world. You just have a little bit of burnout.
Well, burnout for a machine's pretty bad. That's usually mean wrong in there.
Well, yes, I
Same
will
for a
say
person.
you have pushed some of your capacitors beyond normal capacity, and as such, you are suffering an effect similar to burnout, in the sense that your overworked compartments are taking time to cool off. You have burnout too. Upon relevant, I will call out when that applies to you. All right, and let's see if your colleague helps you.
Critical hit. Save the day, Cordero.
Okay.
Hey!
So you're spending those 2 to get rid of 1 burnout?
No, I needed those 2 just to get to the success of 5.
Oh,
no,
you're
no,
right.
I brought the, I got, I set the difficulty at 5 to get 5 advantages, but I brought it down to diff 4 from an advantage, so
Yes.
I get 1 momentum, not 2 off of that.
Yes. And you both have 5 advantages, and you both have 2 burnout. Okay. Okay. It is the dawn of exams day. Some of you seem content. Shisherhath got a full 8 hours of sleep. She went to bed at like 8 p.m. She seems perfectly fine. She wakes up happy. She goes on her morning run as usual. It's barely any other day for her. Auburn, you think he was up most, if not the entirety of the night, cramming for everything. Sixes and Cordero, you were much the same. You did get some sleep in, but clearly not enough, and you both feel the dark circles under your eyes when you wake up. Korhesh and Lord or Cadet Avath, both seem somewhat nervous, but they seem to have it under control, and Sata also seems to be very confident. How are you feeling, Lee? How are you feeling on exam morning?
That was aimed at the dolphin.
I was muted. Slightly unprepared, but running on adrenaline, I'd say.
Okay. You all go through your normal morning routines. There's something of an air of dread. There is an air of dread surrounding the campus. If you thought everyone here was being sentenced to hang at midday, you could believe it. It's that bad in some cases. And one by one, you all have your breakfast, and you all walk into their normal classrooms. Each desk has an alcove that's got walls so you're not peering into the other desk. We will say the 2 of you and all these other cadets are in the same room that probably has about 50 people in it, with professors walking down to make sure everyone's doing what they have. You have, a paper and some pencil. You have a notebook and a paper and pencil to do some work, note taking, and you have a pad to do any and all of the writing portions of the exams that you will need to do. So you sign in, and you will begin to be confronted with the questions. Okay. There are 2, 3, 6. Okay. You both start off. You both start off with a difficulty 2 test. This will be reason, and then your specialty. For these are all basic questions about the field that you are currently studying. For the con officer, these are simple questions about the mechanics of flight, the basic controls on a standard Starfleet control board, what simple radio jargon means, stuff like that. And for the doctor, this is all basic questions of anatomy and general internal medicine. So that's Reason Con and Reason Medicine, difficulty 2.
Focus in xenobiology.
Go ahead.
Spend 1 momentum.
Okay. Okay. You succeed at the difficulty 2 questions.
Focus in either helm operations or zero-G operations.
Helm operations will certainly apply here.
Complication range reduced by 1. I will also give a threat for a 3rd die.
Okay.
So much threat.
Yeah.
I
no,
mean, yeah, these are support characters.
I figured this might happen.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, you both succeed at the difficulty 2 questions.
Didn't I have an advantage on the written?
Yes, you do have advantages that you can spend. I'm sorry. You can. There are. I will tell you now because I assume you can just click through the test. There are 5 sections of the test left. So.
All right.
Okay. Okay, dice. Okay. Okay, you are both on to the difficulty 3 questions. The difficulty 3 questions are for both of you about the basics of Starfleet's operational structure, about what department does what, about, the org chart of Starfleet Command, about, Starfleet structure and the Federation bureaucracy, all of those sorts of things. I will take here reason or insight and con or command. And that's difficulty 3, excuse me.
All right. I'll leave the momentum for the dolphin friend, and I'll spend 3 threat.
On the dot.
Okay.
How does using these advantages work?
It lowers the difficulty.
Okay. Just normal advantage.
Mhm.
And then I believe I rolled a decent number on my.
You got
5 successes.
You
On
did
my
okay. You
study.
both got 5. You got them for the written portion.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
I will let you spend as many as you want on.
I am going to spend 2 on this question.
Okay. You
Reduce
drop
to
the
diff 1.
difficulty to diff 1. Yes.
Yep.
You studied very much about the history of Starfleet.
Yep. I think home operations will not trigger here.
No, unfortunately.
Yep. 2. I make it, but I have a comp. The comp stands.
Okay. Sure. You know what I'll say? I will say you're going through these questions and you're feeling pretty confident in your answers. You put in a lot of studying into the segments around Starfleet organization in order to make yourself a bit more confident in that. And as you're going over these, it reminds you of how little sleep you've gotten recently, and you now suffer 1 level of burnout.
All right.
Okay, now, okay, Sure, that leaves. Well, that should be last. Okay. Next, you are both confronted with. This is going to be the trickiest part of the. Uh, all of these have been multiple choice questions up to this point. Now you get difficulty 4. These are still multiple choice questions, but the answers are much more opaque. You are dealing with the nuances of Starfleet protocol and the correct responses to various situations. I'm looking at a difficulty 4 test, and I would accept here either con or science, honestly, considering this deals a lot with correct procedures around all sorts of nuanced, very specific scenarios that we'd probably only read about in a textbook anyways. And this is difficulty 4. This is the hardest part yet. This is where burnout comes into play. You are both going to undergo a stress test as your burnout is beginning to test your ability to stay awake and functional during all of this. I want both of you to roll a difficulty 2 fitness security roll to stay awake and stay calm. And for both of you, I am going to raise the difficulty to 3.
Right.
So
What is the burnout number effect here?
The burnout number effect, raises the number of complications you get on this roll.
Okay.
Or
So-
the complication number, excuse me.
do we roll the test first, or?
You are rolling first to calm your nerves, and then you will get to the question.
Okay.
Gotcha. I can take this one first.
Mhm.
Fitness con, focus on survival.
Absolutely.
Aha, I knew it would come up. So I'm going to spend the momentum there, hoping to generate some.
Okay.
All right, I generated back at least.
Okay. Difficulty 3. No, you don't. You hit it exactly, unless you're getting a bonus momentum from something.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was difficulty 2. Right, you raised
I
it
spent.
difficulty.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Mhm.
you do not suffer any stress from this roll, and you do not increase your burnout number. You're confronted with some difficult questions, and you keep a lid on it. Now we go to the exocom.
It's fitness plus what?
Security.
All right. Take 6 threat.
Okay.
Oh.
So close.
Oh no.
Okay. It's not the end of the world. All that means is she
Get sent to a penal colony.
Uh-huh.
all that means is that you take 3 stress damage
Okay.
as it's going to your nerves, and I'm taking the complications in threat back to me as you feel a feeling in your gut that maybe you weren't ready for this. All right.
I don't have one of those.
You get a feeling in one of your subroutines that you're not ready for this. And okay, I'm not going to roll for all of the NPCs because I think that would be a waste of time, but I think there's one in particular who might be stressing out right now.
Nepotism eat your heart out. Sorry, what? Actually, just sheriff this whole time.
Yeah.
Would you allow Auburn to spend a threat to have an extra dice here?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Okay. Ooh. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I will say off of this complication, not only is he going to take the 3 stress damage, but okay, he takes that much in stress damage. You see, you all hear Jason like scrape his chair, stand up, walk to a professor, ask to use the bathroom, and then leave the room. And well, the test is timed, so you could go after him, or you continue with your test.
I will continue with my test.
Okay.
I think from my perspective of trusting in the work that Sato and I did.
So you have the next question. Both succeed on this. You both succeed on this. Okay. Difficulty 4 questions. Connor science. Reason. Reason. If you want to convince me on something else for ethics, I would be willing to hear it out. Yeah. Difficult.
I'm great with reason con here.
Okay.
I continue to not have a focus. Difficulty 4. I've used 3 of my 5, and we're on question 4.
That's right.
Okay. I'll use 1 more advantage, I guess.
Okay. Got 2 left.
And I will continue dumping threat.
All right.
I'm gonna dump 3 threat for 4 dice here. So I'm rolling a diff 3 with an advantage, and I'm rolling 4 dice.
Okay.
All
You
right.
succeed at very difficult questions about Starfleet ethics and Starfleet ethics and protocol. Okay. Okay. So that is 3 of oh my god, 3 of 6 parts of the test done. You move out of the multiple choice questions and into the open response questions. Winchester, reason or insight, Connor command, or Connor science, excuse me.
What's the difficulty?
4.
All right.
You could try and see if you could angle it in medical ethics.
I would accept that a complication increase.
Sure. And I'll give you 6 threat.
Okay.
It's gonna be like 50 threat by the end of this.
I mean, I'm spinning that threat and I'm still not succeeding, so what do you want from me?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'll tell you now. The points you're getting off this are graduated. So 3 out of 4 difficulty means you get 3 out of 4 points that you could get off of this, which is not the end of the world. And
Says you, I want that top of the class bonus. I want the little medal.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to unseat Miss Valedictorian here, and get one up on the Andorian.
Oh, good golly, that's a lot of threat.
Something happens and you don't know what.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So you are now both in the open response questions. Okay. So the first part is difficulty 3, and they are presenting you with a kind of problem related to your specialty, and you are asked to solve it. A patient comes in with this list of symptoms. What is your treatment priority? Or you are tasked with navigating a course through this segment of space. What is your answer? So this is difficulty 3, and I will take reason and whatever your specialty is.
And what's diff?
3. Okay. I will use my last advantage to lower that to 2.
Okay.
Focus in xenobiology for this, because it's medical.
Sure.
You've simply just cheated on that grade form. You wouldn't have to worry about that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but then we wouldn't be good Starfleet officers.
That's true.
Helm operations focus.
Sure.
Cool. Specifically, if it's navigation and like charting a course, I'd like to argue for the trait River Dolphin. Actually,
I'll
there's
give it to
patient
you.
officers, specifically navigators.
I will give that to you. You get you lower the diff to 2 because many of
To
these
1
questions
off
are.
of that.
Hmm?
Because I already lowered it with 1 advantage.
Oh, you're right. So the difficulty is 1 because is that the last of your advantages?
That is the last of my advantages. Yeah,
Yes,
but all
you
my
lowered the
advantages are for the
difficulty to
written.
1.
So.
And off of that, you because of that, because most of these questions are things like you are navigating from point A to point B. These are the hazards in the way. How do you chart a course through it? Stuff like that
Yeah,
you're really good at.
like this is easy. Why is this on the test? Type thing. I'm gonna roll 2 though, and potentially not get any successes. And it's gonna be really funny. Oh, there's complication, which is really funny.
I will give you. I'll spend 1 momentum and give you 2 threat.
All right.
Good golly.
Things are coming up exocount. They're coming up 6s.
Can I
Okay.
suggest for the complication that I suggest something that is physically impossible for a ship to do?
Yes, I've been keeping track of your complications, and they are more in questions like this. They are more points of note for people being surprised at what you answered rather than anything strictly negative. It reflects it reflects what do you call it, unconventionality more so than anything else.
Mm-hmm. It may just be a slip of that's how you navigate through water. Space doesn't have drag.
Well, what you see is you twist it about the amidships to have it arch its back over the obstacle. That's not how ships work. No.
Right. You haven't invented that yet. Sorry.
Okay. And yes, at this point, it does appear that our good old friend Jason has returned from the bathroom and seems much calmer. Although you doubt his ability to complete the whole exam given the time constraints he has left. So now you are in the last of the open response questions, or the open answer questions, before you move into the final essay. These are difficulty 4. And these are related to what to do in combat scenarios. So we are looking for security here. As they deal with a lot of different scenarios, I will accept basically any discipline if you can justify it to me. Or what do you call it? Attribute. Yes.
I'm gonna go for daring here. I think my solutions are a little out of the box and potentially risky.
Yeah, you were suggesting a lot of aggressive things for a con officer to do, but not strictly wrong.
Yeah, it's like I'm not necessarily going as far as suggesting ramming in every possible situation, but it does come up more than is conventional. Um, focus in Helm or Zero G operations.
These are combat scenarios that aren't just about ship combat, so if I were
Okay.
to accept it, it would be a complication increase.
Survival focus for all sorts of combat.
I would also give it to you a complication increase because survival is not just fighting people, but making shelter and stuff that's not really directly related to this.
Yep. Sure. I'll take increased comp.
Okay.
Are you reason? Because I'm approaching this by citing sources and staying very theoretical.
That works for me. You are relying on a very by the book, methodical approach to this.
You read the AP style guide.
On how to apply nerve pinches to standing guards, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't even have the biology to do a nerve pinch, but it's still on there.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like
You didn't ask how I would do it. You asked how a Starfleet officer would do it.
You gotta
Yeah.
know the answer.
What's the
in
diff?
this answer, I am assuming that a Starfleet officer refers to. Yeah.
What's the diff?
It was difficulty 4, and so that's you get 1 momentum.
I haven't rolled yet. That was from
Oh,
last roll.
sorry.
But I'll take it. I mean,
you get an automatic hit.
I was waiting for the dolphin to finish.
Cool. I can roll first now. I would like to spend 2 momentum and a threat to roll 4 dice.
Go ahead. Oh.
I
Okay.
get 3 out of 4, and I have a comp.
Okay. You have a comp. Okay. Okay. 3 out of 4 and a comp. Okay. Let me mark that down.
I ram into it with my face becomes a common answer in all the questions.
I bite it.
Okay. Okay.
You're like
that's marked
4
down.
feet long. You're not that threatening. I'm threatening.
What if I bite
You do
really
have
hard?
I do think you have a lot of teeth, though. So
I do have a lot of teeth. It's true.
and you're unconventional. Your average, I don't know, combatant of Starfleet is expecting many things, but not a dolphin, which adds to the spookiness value.
Exactly.
Okay. What was I going to say? Oh yes. It is the exocom's turn.
All right. I will wait for you to finish spinning threat.
Something else is happening. Both of these things are unrelated, and neither of you know what they are. Okay.
All right.
I love the stuff happening outside the test hall.
I'll
It's
spend 3
so
threat.
loud.
Who says it's happening outside the test hall?
I love the cheating happening on the forums. I don't know.
Okay. You did I say it was diff 3 or diff 4? I believe I said it was
Diff 4.
yes, diff 4. Okay. Double checking my work. Okay. Okay, you are all done with all parts of the exam except for the final part of the exam, which is the essay. In the essay, you are being asked to to write several paragraphs about oh god. You're being asked to write several paragraphs about what being a Starfleet officer means to you. I will let you use anything you want to justify to me, and there is no difficulty here because it's not that kind of question. But you can receive a maximum of 5 points off of this.
Well, this qualifies a diff 0 then for the purposes of.
I guess technically it's a diff 5. I'm just using graduated successes and
I see what
failures
you're
here.
doing. Yeah, okay.
Okay, cool. Right, I will go for Daring Con then.
Okay. So you are writing a very bold, actiony essay about what being a Starfleet officer means to you.
I am writing an adventure novel masquerading as an essay.
Okay. I mean, I'm putting them in your file.
Yeah, like it's an adventure novel masquerading as an essay. Like there's a little bit of fan fiction going on here.
Did you Kirk and Spock kiss in it?
No comment.
Okay. You know, I like it. I'm here for it. I'm spending 4 threat to raise the complication range by 2.
Yeah, there's this character Mary who shows up. She's really good at things.
Oh, and everyone likes her.
Yeah. All right. Because I'm basically writing an action adventure piece. Can I make a play for the survival focus?
You know, in your mind, a lot of what the Starfleet officer, what being a Starfleet officer is about, involves setting up campfires and roasting the animals that you hunted.
There's an unusual amount of starship crashes in this.
Yeah, I can see. Sure, I will let you use survival for this.
Wonderful.
Well, it's like Castaway, but a Starfleet officer.
Yeah, it's like, this is what Starfleet officer is being about. It's being about, like, knowing how to handle yourself when you're in all sorts of situations, including this one, 7 paragraphs later, and this. What's the comp range on this? 3?
3, yes, because I spent 4 to increase it by 2. Because this is a bold approach to an essay. I will say, at some point while you were writing this, Professor Tavral passes by your alcove as they've been walking up and down the lines, and she just kind of glances over your shoulder for a second to see what you're writing. She's not supposed to look, but she takes a glance, and you feel like she stops for longer than she should after passing your alcove, as if she's considering what you wrote, and then she keeps walking.
That's a good sign. I made an impression on a professor.
You did make an impression on a Vulcan impressor.
Exactly. That's a great sign. Okay, 3-dimensional thinking lowers the complication by 1.
Okay.
You cast away a dolphin. They can't get stuck on the island. I guess the water is not water.
Exactly.
It's like Subnautica. You crash landed specifically on a water world.
Yeah. This is exactly what happens. I don't know what you're on about. This is exactly what happens. I'm going to give 3 threat for 4 dice here.
3 threat for 4 dice. Okay.
Starting to see why these people end up on Halanak.
Hey!
Yeah. Professor Snow, get her as
successes.
Far away from here as possible.
6 successes.
1, 2. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. So. Okay, you get the highest possible marks on your essay. You will learn later after the fact that this essay was rather emotionally resonant with many of the professors who found the story of maintaining the hope and idealism and brightness of of Starfleet while alone, trapped on this exotic alien world where everything seems hostile to you, really resonates to them. Who everyone, everyone there would like to believe that they really would be this main character who's able to maintain the idealism of Starfleet even in the worst of scenarios.
Definitely.
And they really like it. And you don't know how you feel about this essay coming out of it. You feel like there's an equal chance they really like it or they really hate it, and you live in the world where they really liked it.
Yeah, there was never any doubt they'd love it because I'm amazing.
All right, Sixes, what does being a Starfleet officer mean to you?
I'm gonna go reason engineering and give a literal description of my existence as a Starfleet officer.
Okay, this is a very technical, matter of fact, and blunt approach to it.
It'll appeal to some of the Vulcans, possibly.
There are Vulcans on the things.
Yeah.
All right. Take your 6th threat.
Hey.
What are you gonna do?
Hey, you nailed it though.
Yeah, you nailed it. Yep. As I said, I'm marking comps now as peculiarities on your record, but in this case, they're not strictly a bad thing. They just mean that people are surprised by what you wrote.
Mark down no imagination on file.
Which isn't a good
Which
thing.
might
or
be
a bad
literally
thing.
true.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. It's just like, well, okay.
Even the prank was just something from the past that Sixes recalls. That, well, that's a thing a cadet does, so I'm gonna go do that now.
Yeah, no. Cadets do that in all of the media representations of cadets do that after the big game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just follow the protocol. There's a protocol for that? No, there's not. Sixes misunderstood. Oh, okay. Still pulled it off though.
Okay. Okay, you both finish, and not there long after you hear the timer go off. That marks that everyone has finished, or that the time has run out, and that people are submitting their works, whether or not they finished. And you are all told to break for lunch, and you will come back in a couple hours in the afternoon to begin the active part of your exam.
All right.
Yeah. When you all shuffle out of the room, Sherhoff seems extremely confident in herself as ever, and Auburn seems very calm, suspiciously. He seems to have lost a lot of the edge he had previously, and you noticed before this morning that there was sweat on his brow. He was that worked out about it, and he seems a lot calmer now. Actually, the most nervous person out of everyone here appears to be Cordero, who seems to have regretted her choice to party and play games and not study for the big test.
All right. I will take this calmness as a good sign with my 7 in presence. And lack of ability to precisely read human facial expressions. Seems like a good thing. Go for a swim in between sections of the test. Try and calm down a little bit.
Okay. Did you take stress damage?
I did not. No.
You did not. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sure. You were able to cool off by the pool. And yeah, why don't I say, give me a fitness medicine test to calm yourself in preparation for the physical part of the exam. We'll say this is difficulty 3, but there's no real cost for failing here.
Cool. I will have to crit on this. So I'm not going to buy any dice. We'll see if it does anything.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. So you do not get any strict advantages off of this. 6s, how are you spending your midday?
Um, so this is in between the two tests.
Yes.
Sixes will just find a seat outside of the exam area, plop down on it, set a reactivation timer, and deactivate.
Okay.
Beeping.
Give me a fitness engineering difficulty 3 test, representing your ability to recharge until that point for an advantage. There's no real cost for failure.
All right, I'll spend that momentum.
Okay. And you will have 5 successes on this next test.
Whiff.
Yep.
Okay. Yes. I will say, as you plug yourself in, you are kicked by someone who either doesn't know this or doesn't care that you were sleeping there in the charging outlet, and you reactivate in response to this. And you can give me. We will say insight security difficulty 2 to recognize very quickly who it was that knocked you out of your charging alcove.
Real quick, I'm gonna download a Brooklyn accent and yell that I'm charging here.
Okay.
I'll give you a threat.
Okay. You have no idea.
Downloading a Brooklyn accent.
They have black boots and black pants like everyone else here. You're not sure. You were too low to the ground. Okay.
All these jackbooted thugs.
So, everyone is called back into a classroom. These tests will be done one by one, although beforehand, Professor Noboye wants to have some words with people. He will once everyone's in, he will say, "Welcome, everyone. I know that for some of you the written test was hard, and I don't want you to worry about it, for it is weighed equally with the active portion of the exam and equally with the collaborative portion of the exam. Your success or lack therein in any one segment is not critical for your ability to become a Starfleet officer. Put that out of your mind now and focus on the next task at hand, which I have the utmost faith you will have a success in. For you medical and science students, I will be overseeing you. For you engineering and security students, Professor Dole will be overseeing you. And for you Helmancon students, Professor Tavral will be overseeing with you, and we will be taking people in one by one. Okay, everyone. He claps his hands together and he says, okay, everyone, let's get this done. And he is trying to generate some momentum for the rest of you, so you hopefully do a bit better. I'm looking at 10, 3. He does have a focus in public speaking. And
Nothing but
I will
20s.
I will give myself 3 threat if you allow it for him to roll 4 dice.
Mhm.
Okay. You generate 3 momentum. Winchester, heads or tails?
Tails.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to go first then, or do you want the dolphin to go first? It's your choice.
Nope, I'll go first.
Okay.
I feel like this is a thing that happens at the academy. People are just like, I'm not pronouncing that. Like, oh wow.
Okay. Yes. Okay. One of the first people called up is Sixes. You meet with Professor Novoye in a holodeck room. You walk in and he says, Cadet 956-876-646-346. This is your active portion of the exam. I hope you are prepared for it, for it will be a gambit. You are going to be a nurse in a triage situation in which constant patients are coming into the room and you have to treat them as quickly as you can. This is not a test where you are expected to finish, for there is no true finish, but rather a test of your ability to endure under pressure and perform multiple different medical operations, simple and complex, in a row. Take your time to prepare yourself and let me know when you are ready to begin. I will be assisting you throughout this as your medical assistant.
I'll indicate affirmative. Ready to go.
All right, so this will take the form of an extended task. You the holodeck shimmers to life, and you find yourself in a hospital situation. You see all of the tools and medical implements you are familiar with. I will say for this segment, there is no cost to pull things from the medical book, for they are all right there as part of this task. You are, in an open air, classic Starfleet open air, what do you call it, medical bay with multiple different beds, and every once in a while, the door is going to open and someone new is going to step in. And where is it? I wrote this down somewhere. Is a magnitude 5 work 12 case, and magnitude 5 work 12 case, and Um, 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 After every roll, you are going to roll you are going to roll, and this will be complicated by your burnout to avoid suffering stress as the level of the work is overwhelming to you as you continue to work. It is theoretically possible to complete the program, although that's not what they're testing. They're merely trying to see how well you can endure and adapt. It's not required to get a perfect grade. 5, 4, 12, 1. Okay. And you will be assisting with him. And oh my god, I wrote the time down somewhere.
So is the limit how much stress you have, or is there a time limit? A rounds limit?
There is not a time limit. It's how much stress you can take by the end of it. There is a theoretical end, but it's not expected that you ever make it. Okay. Where is it? Call out targets. It's in the main book. I'll find it. What's the assist sound called? That gives the other person a reroll when you assist them.
Oh, that's like that meticulous planning thing or something like that? That's the thing Thralic has.
Um,
Or is it
yeah,
advisor?
that would be meticulous planning. Advisor gives a reroll. Meticulous
Advisor.
planning allows you to roll on tasks that coincide with plans you have made or strategies
Right.
you've enacted.
I was thinking of advisor.
Mm.
You get one free reroll because he is, taking on the role of an assistant to you. Whenever you assist, the character may reroll 1 to 20. All right. And after this, you will be rolling in fitness security roll. It will go up in difficulty every time, and if you fail, you take 3d6 of stress damage. Okay. Awesome. Fitness security.
Well, 3 challenge dice, not 3d6.
Excuse me. Yes.
I was like, whoa.
Okay. So the doors fly open, and we'll say the first roll on this extended task is a patient with minor abrasions and burn wounds that need to be carefully treated with the proper ointments and bandages. They are suffered some kind of minor engineering accident, and we will say this is control medicine. I did not set the difficulty. We will say difficulty 2 will be the default difficulty for this.
All right, activate the sterofilm once it's on the bioband. And I don't think there are any other useful things from the science book on this one.
Okay, let me check. Did you say the stereo fields? Is that what you activated?
Yeah, all that does is avoid a secondary task to avoid infection.
Oh, yeah, that's the... Okay. All right.
Then I guess if um, um, all right. I are we oh, never mind. Xenobiology is a focus.
Not here. I would be looking for a first aid or something along those lines.
Emergency repair?
No, I'm sorry. If he was a robot, I'd take it.
All right. I will give you 3 threats, spend 3 momentum for full mit. And I will use one of the 5 advantages to bring the difficulty down to 4.
Difficulty 4.
Difficulty is 2.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear you say that. Normally, tasks have magnitude and difficulty is the same.
Oh, do they? Oh, that
You
was
don't.
my
I don't
mistake.
think you have to have it that way.
It doesn't have to be the same now. Difficulty can
No,
be
but it's
off.
just most of the time it is.
Okay. No, the length of the task is specifically hard here, so I think it makes sense.
Oh, okay. Then I will redo what I did. I will only spend the momentum. I will not spend that threat.
Sounds good to me. I didn't even mark it yet.
Typical.
Okay.
Good call.
You get 6 off of diff 2, so you get 4 successes, and you can roll me a challenge dice.
I'll spend 1 to re-roll those.
Okay, let me.
And
So you got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Minus resistance.
Minus resistance is 3.
so I will spend 2 more.
Okay. So you got 5 work, which means you lower the magnitude to 4. Okay. Now, you treat the first patient, and then another patient, and then another patient. You get the sense that almost in a video game-esque fashion, they are getting slightly more complicated at every step, and you begin to feel the tiredness catch up with you. I would like you to make a fitness security difficulty 3 task. And that is modified to +2 by your burnout to also have comp range 2. Comp range 3, excuse me.
All right, I'm gonna spend 2 of the 5 then to bring this to diff 1.
All right.
And then I'll spend 1 momentum to get a 3rd dice.
Okay.
Fitness what?
Fitness, I'll take medicine here. Okay. So you do not succeed. It's not the end of the world.
I did succeed. I just got complications along
Yeah. You did succeed. You're right. You did lower the difficulty, and this is not the end of the world. You treat 2 patients in an unusual but not incorrect manner. And if you had to take a guess, when Professor Novoye runs the footage back, he will probably merely take note of that. Okay. You're up again.
right.
As a note, in an extended task, when you set a difficulty, because they got one
Mhm.
magnitude, the difficulty drops by 1.
Okay.
So they're down
Yes.
to diff 1
Well,
currently, unless it's
and it
increased.
is 0.2, and it is 2 threat to raise the difficulty.
Temporarily.
All right. Well, luckily for me. Okay.
Definitely heard for it.
Yes. As you get harder into the game, or not the game, the test, you feel that the complexity of what you're being asked to do on a similar time frame is raising. You are now receiving or you are now receiving patients who show signs of more complicated battle wounds caused by unusual alien energy signatures. You wonder where exactly they get the material for this test from. But if you had to guess, these are probably related to things Starfleet thinks you are likely to see in the future. And you are being asked to treat these patients. So difficulty 3. You are not performing surgery, you're merely performing stabilization care before they move into surgery.
All right, then I will use a cardio stimulator, because this is first aid on a character suffering from a lethal injury from
Okay.
combat. So that'll give me a reroll.
Okay.
Don't imagine. Oh, I'll use a. Neural pad, which basically does the same thing. It's a device to stabilize injured patients so they can survive transport. Which, since I'm not healing them, I am only temporarily helping them. They're going to have to move. So that's another reroll. And then a stereo field, obviously.
Okay.
All right. Litany of drugs, but I don't think we're worrying about those today. So, diff 3, comp 1, or is it comp 3?
You're a comp 1.
Okay.
And you are getting an assist from him, and he has advisor. So you are receiving
3 rerolls.
3 rerolls. So for every single one of your dice.
I will. I will give 3 threat. And I'll reroll 2.
Good golly.
Good go. So that gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
Six on a diff 1, so 5.
So 5 momentum. It was diff 3. I spent for it to be diff 3, unless you spent to lower.
Oh no, you did spin to bring it back up. So it's only 3 moment. 2 momentum.
All right, and that is 4. That is 4. That is 3.
Oh no. Total, me and him got
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
7
6, 7.
on a
Minus
diff 3, so it's
4.
4.
So you 4.
Okay.
That's right. Like 3 work so far.
Yep.
And I will spend the 4 on the table to get up to
Well,
to get 7 work this round.
7 work this round. Okay. So that gives you 2 breakthroughs. Okay. So that drops it down to magnitude 2. We're at 0. Resistance 1. Okay. All right. So now you are doing very good, better than expected in most capacities, and now we are moving into even upper levels. Now you are dealing with victims of a unique kind of viral infection that does not conform to any of your established knowledges of viral infections. It seems to be a new, perhaps bioengineered plague. Before you can treat these, for this roll, it will be insight, as you have to assemble a list of symptoms from all of these different patients to figure out how best to help them. And we're at diff 1, but I'm going to spend...
So this is the stress test?
Oh, you were right. You were right, and I was wrong. I forgot about the stress test. So last time it was difficulty 3. I will spend 2 to raise it up to be difficulty 4. And it's still fitness medicine. I completely forgot about that. You're right.
All right. I'll use I will use 2 of the 3 remaining advantages to bring the diff down to 2. And I will give you 3 threat.
Three threat, you said?
Yep.
Okay. You do not succeed. So you are taking 3d6 in stress damage, or 3 challenge dice in stress damage. Okay. You would have, because there was a scene change, you would have healed from the stress damage you underwent previously. Okay. Okay. Next round. Now, okay, is difficulty 0. Now it's diff 1. Now it's diff 2. 3. Now 4. You are presented with, as I said, patients with an unfamiliar kind of plague, and the role is now insight medicine, as before you can even treat these new oncoming patients, you do have to diagnose them. And I will spend a little bit more. Okay, so it's difficulty 4, and the complication range is 3.
All right. And we're full up on medical equipment, right?
You are. Seemingly, whenever you ask for a medical equipment from the professor, he is able to hand whatever you need from him.
All right. Then it's not my responsibility to treat these people. I am acting only as a nurse. So I will put them all in stasis units. Which means they
Okay.
can be stabilized and taken out. So I don't know how that's gonna that doesn't do anything to the difficulty. It just means that they can't. So I don't know how you're gonna rule that, but
Sure. Here is what I will say. I will say you can lower the difficulty by 1 in exchange for raising the complication as you find a loophole in the rules that makes you not technically incorrect, but does raise eyebrows at how you're willing to treat these
this
people.
is the right answer, though. Okay. Okay.
Remember, there's the right answer. There's the right answer the professor wants to hear.
Exactly, yeah.
Professor No Way's probably like, I was not expecting you to do this. All of them? All of them. Okay, I guess I'm getting a bunch of stasis things.
I mean, the other idea, right? Just use temporary holographic organs to replace their failing organs due to the disease, and ship of Theseus them, and then have him brought up on ethics charges when he tries to argue with me that holographic people aren't people, right? But that's not the
The
solution.
holographic brain going in there.
Yeah.
You don't even know what's wrong with them confidently to be. You would just be replacing organs at random. And
Yeah, I can tell organ failure. I don't know
I-
why the kidney's failing, but it stopped working.
Yeah, but if you have
Okay.
systemic failure...
Yeah,
Okay.
that's you're replacing multiple organs until you replace the whole person.
Uh-huh. Oh my
Okay.
god. Okay.
Anyways,
I would say that this technique, sure, you're raising the complication range, which would bump it up to 4, the difficulty down to 3 for this unusual approach. And I will
hold
say,
on. That was a joke. So we're still talking
Oh.
about the stasis units here. So what's the
Mhm.
stasis units?
what do you mean? What are the stasis units? Let me look up.
No. What do they do to this roll?
Okay, hold on. Sterfield.
They don't. That's what I was saying. By the book, they don't do anything to a roll. They just allow you to pick a lethally injured
Okay.
character, and stabilize them until you take them out.
So here's what I'll say. You are skirting around the rules of the question. As it is, what this thing is fishing for is your ability to diagnose on the fly, and you are getting around that in a way that's not incorrect, but is still not what the professor was expecting or looking for. So yes, it would drop the difficulty because this is an easier way to approach it, but it raises the complication range because it makes the professor's eyebrows raise.
All right. I will give you.
And because you're not diagnosing
threat?
them, but putting them in stasis, I would say this is probably control medicine again rather than insight.
A matter of getting them into them fast enough, sort of
What are
thing.
you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Good golly. Oh, well. Oh, don't you have rerolls?
You sure do. You have.
Hold on.
Oh.
No, I don't have any rerolls because I didn't use any other equipment because to use that equipment would be to try to solve the problem. But my thing is, I'm not a physician. It's not my job to solve this problem. And he can't assist me because I didn't get any successes.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, so advisor doesn't kick in because he has to get at least one.
You are
well, no,
correct.
here's the thing. It is div 0, but you spent to... Did you spend to raise it?
Yeah, it was pulled
I
up
did
to
raise it.
3.
Okay, then yeah,
total.
then that's a failure.
It is a failure. Okay. Okay. Learning a lot about this as it goes. Okay. So that is. Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to mark this all in my notes.
Who wants patient slushies?
Okay. So that you have succeeded.
If they didn't want to be patient slushies, they should have bought at least medium passage.
Oh, that would be an evil sci-fi universe where low-class transportation is you're turned into a goop and stored in a tank, and then they reassemble you when they land. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
Okay.
more hellish.
horrible thing. Why would anyone ever want to roleplay as if they were doing that?
Oh no, I can imagine role playing as a bad person trying to make a living in a far off sci-fi galaxy. Okay, okay. This has not gone how I've expected it. Now you need to undergo the stress test, which is normally I believe initially it was diff 2, and then I was it diff 2 or diff 3 at first.
It was diff 3 at first.
Okay, then I will spend 2 again to raise it up to diff 4. Fitness medicine, your comp range is raised by your burnout.
All right. I will use the last advantage to reduce it to diff 3.
Okay.
I will give you 3 threat.
Okay.
Oh my god. What are you gonna do?
So close every bloody
I
time,
wasted
too.
the majority of my advantages on failed tasks.
I mean, you know, the way the dice roll.
Should have been playing Priesty Square so much, should have studied.
Okay.
Sounds
You get
good.
how
Although
much
you totally
stress do you have left?
3. So I'm good to go.
All right. You're good to go. Okay. You're still at magnitude 2, work 0, resistance 1. And 2. So that's diff 2. Diff 3. So the difficulty has been raised to 3. Okay, what other thing could you have been running into? Ooh, I got it. You are confronted with what seem to be relatively normal things a nurse could treat minor ailments, but with aliens whose physiology does not seem to conform with any that you have ever been aware of, and as such, you have to confront treating these patients on the fly without fully understanding their anatomy. Spending 2. 2 again. Complication range is 3. So diff 3, complication range 3. And I would take reason or control here because you're doing a lot of reasoning out their biology as you go.
Sorry, what's the diff?
Diff 3, comp 3.
All right. Not a whole lot going on here for me, so damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead, take your 6th threat.
There you go.
You know you guys have determination, right?
No,
they
I
spent
spent
them.
mine like hours
Oh,
ago.
They
okay.
spend it on frivolous things for their 3 weeks.
Frivolous things, it was important at the time. I don't remember what
I-
it was, but it was important.
Uh-huh.
I
I
spent it on the
don't
first task
remember
I
what
failed
it
on.
was. Oh.
But hey,
I
Sixers will
still
be
have my
known as the
determination.
greatest exocomp to ever party on campus, and that'll be good enough for me.
I don't think either of these people are making it to Halanak.
Hey,
No,
I
no,
mean,
Halanak is the punishment, I tell you. It's not the
Uh-huh.
it's not the premium posting.
all right.
So you're saying what we're
diff-
doing here is determining how good it is to
You're
be
a
at
con
Halanak?
officer. Being posted to Halanak would be a punishment. There's no con.
They have shuttles, they have ships.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
get
No, you don't get to go fly these new sovereigns, these intrepids, these Californias, right? You get to go sit on a shuttle and shuttle people from Upantar to Halanak Station.
doing the same route over and over and over again.
And
now
most
we're
of those
there,
routes,
now we're back.
most of those routes are just Kovic avoiding taking the transporter.
Yeah. Okay.
So stress.
No. First, you got to roll your Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1. Sorry, that's 3. Excuse me. I can count.
That's one magnitude just because it's more work while the work track is full. They break it again.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
spending 2 of the 3 momentum. No, 1 of the 3 momentum is enough to complete the magnitude.
Okay. Okay, let me just mark in my notes now this one. Okay. You know?
Impossible to finish my ass. If I had an ass, I'd say that. But I don't.
Okay. In my defense, I was kind of eyeballing the difficulty because I scanned through the GM's guide and there wasn't any concrete rules for how difficult things are. So I was like,
Yeah.
you know, for a supporting character, this will probably be pretty hard.
Yeah.
No, this was pretty hard because he could have stressed out pretty badly after these rolls. You're put the difficulty up to a challenging number every time. So
Okay.
Yeah,
Also,
no,
like,
you were
there's a
spending
lot of
threat
threat spending
appropriately
right now.
But
I'm sorry, what? Sorry, go
Go for it,
ahead,
Winchester.
Frolic.
Oh, just like the fact that we're spending a lot of threat is also, I think, indicative of like it's challenging because we wouldn't be spending threat if it wasn't challenging.
Okay.
and
Okay.
Plus, these are hero support characters. They're not just any cadets. These are the characters we're following. The cameras are following around. Why do we care about these cadets? Oh, in this test, this is why we care about these cadets.
Okay. So you did that.
Yep. And I'm going to step right out of this holodeck into a time warp so that it makes sense that I could be on Halanak after finishing medical school.
Time loop shenanigans. Who knows?
No, that's what I was thinking. Like there'll be a point where there's 1/6s attending. Like there's some transporter mishap, and that does some time bullshit. And there's 1/6s on Earth attending Starfleet Medical, and one that's still at Starfleet Academy at the same time. And he's destined to get stuck in the time loop and sent back 4 years.
Okay, so Nuoye does not immediately reveal his impressment, and he says, good work, cadet. You may leave to return to the your quarters. I will analyze your data and inform you of your results later today. But when he talks, he seems to, sound happier than you would expect him to. And you get from looking in his eyes, you probably impressed him a lot.
Sixes will use his little nose replicator to replicate a mic and then drop it.
Excellent.
Dink.
And you step out of the what do you call it, holodeck as Cordero is going in, who she looks mildly nervous as she's stepping in. Do you say anything to her as she's going in for this?
Find the mic.
Well, no, I dropped it on the floor.
Exactly. Wait, slip on it. Demerits for littering. Sorry.
Would it be academic dishonesty to just replicate a miniature what did I use? A miniature stasis unit, like a little model of a stasis unit on my nose. I'm walking past her while my back is to Noye.
Yeah, I will give you I will give you reason engineering, difficulty 3.
Oh, this is a new scene, right?
I would say this is still the end of the scene that you were in, I would say, unfortunately.
Oh, well, no. I mean, it's a new scene from our whole 3-week
Yes.
run-up. Okay. Then I'll spend.
Oh, your battery thing.
Yeah, I'll spend. It allows me to spend up to 3 of an opportunity cost. So I don't know if that. How you want to rule that there? Because I don't know how much of this is replicating it and how much of this is keeping it hidden.
Yeah, sure. I'll say you can spend those points to show her that, and she will nod her head at you very slightly, and that I will note in her final results that you helped her.
Well, I don't know if I did that right, because now she might go into every question just be like, I'm a nurse, stasis field. Broken bone, I'm a nurse, stasis field.
Doctor starts getting annoyed. Look, I need floor space. I can't have stasis pods everywhere, nurse. They can go into the hall. No, nurse, start treating some of them.
Like the doc comes in off of his from a there's a battle or whatever, mass casualties. The doc comes from one med bay to another, and he walks in and she's holding like a pad, and there's like row upon row of stasis fielded patients, like organized in rows according to ailment.
Yeah,
I mean,
Starfleet
it
has
actually doesn't sound
deposited
that bad.
Starfleet has deposited an entire warp reactor normally used to power interstellar travel
That's
just
why they're
to
losing the
keep.
battle.
Yeah, no, the whole warp reactor is being used just to power all of the AC units to keep the stasis
Why do we
field
keep losing
intact.
power every time the medical has a turn? Because they have so many pods.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I will be back in 2 minutes. I'm running to the bathroom, and then we'll do Youth Frolic.
All right.
What's funny is that the suggestion you gave of like, here, stasis pod, that's the one part of the test you completely burked, like completely biffed it. It's like, here's a hint. That's not a hint. That's the part that nearly freezed a bunch of your patients. You're not even supposed to be able to do that with stasis pods, because that's not how they work. They don't freeze people.
Maybe you're
I
trying
don't
to
know
make your
that.
fellow cadet fail.
Don't do this. It really didn't work out.
Yeah, maybe that's what the flash spoke meant. You don't know.
Well, I was really hoping for a question that was based on broken bones, because
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
because his bone regenerator takes that one down by 2.
Yeah.
And then, of course, anytime I open up the science book and there's a medical question, start going down the list of drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I do not have, I think, any equipment that helps me in my stuff, so far
Pilot?
easier.
No.
No, I just have the helm. That's my equipment.
And you're not even a flight officer, so you don't even get the cool
Actually,
thing that
there
comm
is
people
a
get.
talent that would be really useful,
Yeah.
probably, and that's the one that is like when you're at the helm controls, you can make any task a
Helm
con
task.
task.
Yeah, con task. Yeah. I've definitely put that on characters before. Because it's very good. It's just like you can override from the helm and do anything, basically. And
Oh,
if you couple that,
isn't it like you do a flight task and then while I'm doing a flight task, I also do this other thing?
yeah, basically, your cost to, I think your cost to override doesn't increase. And you're allowed to use con as your discipline for it,
Mm.
as long as one of the 2 tasks you did was piloting this starship.
Okay, I am back.
Welcome back.
Yes. So, Tixley, you are up next. Cadets who have finished their exams aren't really supposed to talk to cadets who haven't undergone this part of the exam yet, even if they're in different fields. So you have not spoken to many of the cadets as you are one of the later ones to be called up. But eventually, Professor Tavral enters the room And she looks through her notes and she calls you her name, and she walks with you into the holodeck.
These are drawn.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's why you can't. That's why you can't speak to those cadets. They've gone, up into the sky. Okay. Now this is one thing I needed to do. I forgot. Okay.
I was completing too.
Corbinian, do
Yeah.
you know where they keep the stats for a runabout?
A core book. 1 second.
And are runabouts like shuttles in that they just get their default stats, or do they get additional benefits?
They just get their default. Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, can we just use this is the Volga runabout?
Yeah, saves it because
Alright.
it has the default anyway. So.
All right. So, yes. Okay.
No. Yeah. It's a standard.
Yeah. So you walk in, and Tavral is standing firmly at attention, and she says, "Welcome, Cadet Tixley. You are expected here. I will be testing your ability to navigate a ship through a hazardous scenario. The fantastical scenario envisioned by our more imaginative professors is that you're co-captain of a runabout fleeing with evacuated civilians into a dangerous area of the Shackleton Expanse. As you are being chased by multiple, and she looks down at her list and says, unknown enemy combatants. These unknown enemy combatants will be wearing your shields down. Your goal is to fly in such a way to survive for as long as possible before the runabout is destroyed. Success is not expected in this scenario, although if you can achieve it, that would, look good on your grade. As you are being fired upon by enemy vessels, and with no hope of fighting back, you are simply running away. And let me pull up what stats are. Character sentence, medical character text. Okay. Okay. So we've got a magnitude 5, a work 10, a resistance 2, and this one is timed. You have 5 intervals until the ship explodes, as the shields have been brought down by the unknown enemy vessels. And you will be receiving assist from the professor, who is acting as your co-pilot and navigator. This environment you are located in appears to be some kind of anomalous segment of the Shackleton Expanse. Starfleet knows a lot of ships are going into the Shackleton. They want to prepare their pilots for these conditions. So you've got, you appear to be in some kind of, blue-green iridescent energy field with, cackling ions and even several asteroids and comets strewn about. A very hectic environment to be flying through. And the ship is taking fire. Okay. She also has the advisor talent. And is there anything else? Oh, yes. She proclaims that these are unknown enemy combatants, but if you glance through any of the side windows, they appear to be suspiciously similar to contemporary Klingon battleship designs.
Okay. I absolutely thought they were going to be someone's OC do not steal starship.
Yeah.
Or like, World War II fighter planes flying through space
Yeah,
or
something
something.
really corny. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
50 copies
Um,
of the Red Baron are after you.
uh-huh. All right,
You just gotta
magnify,
fly over
work
some Australian
5
trenches.
intervals. What's the difficulty?
The base difficulty will be 3. Okay. And
This
hold on.
is a this is a
At
runabout that
default,
has the passenger transport module, presumably.
yes. And at default, this will be Daring Con as you are zipping in and out of various obstacles to avoid taking fire.
Fantastic.
And she will be assisting you by acting as your navigator by providing you with insight con.
Okay.
And she does have the focus of, or the talent of advisor.
Cool.
Okay.
God, do runabouts have fractures?
Yes, I'm sorry. You will also be assisted by the ship's own stats, which will almost all of this be engine's con, which is 11, which is honestly is its best score.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And do runabouts have what?
I was just checking to see if runabouts had tractor beams.
Okay, I don't. Maybe in canon, but not in game.
Yeah,
Although,
I don't think they have any in the rules. So.
Okay, what are you thinking?
Don't worry about it. They don't have tractor beams.
Okay. All right. Well, let me know when you're ready to roll.
Yep. I think I'm good.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to start off with some evasive maneuvers here.
Oh, one last thing I forgot to mention, because this is in a very hazardous part of the Shackleton, you are at +1 complication range. Every task involving a starship navigating and moving is at +1.
Okay, we can just negate that with 3-dimensional thinking, though.
Okay, you sure can.
Yep. Difficulty 3, Korean. Let's see. So 3-dimensional thinking lowers the complication range back down. I'd like to invoke my river dolphin trait to
Okay.
essentially eat at the difficulty.
Okay.
Take it down to 2.
If 2, yeah, okay. And you do have an advantage in navigating through 3-dimensional spaces. You are able to, faster than the AI, you are able to predict where the debris is moving and intercept around it, meaning it is much more likely for a phaser beam to hit a piece of rock or comet than it is for it to hit your ship.
Yep. I would like to also be trying to get as many asteroids blown up as I can.
That would probably be creating an advantage. You would probably want to spend momentum for that.
Cool. We'll see if I can do that. Actually, no, we have 2 momentum. I'd like to create an advantage for that.
Okay, so you're creating an advantage that there are additional asteroids.
What I want to do is I want to create the advantage that the phaser fire is creating a lot of dust out of vaporized asteroids, specifically.
Oh, to interfere with their targeting systems.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes, sure. For those 2 momentum, you have an additional interval as the shields are declining at a slower rate.
All right. Focus in helm operation.
You betcha.
I don't know. That seems like a stretch to me.
Yeah.
I think you're being taken advantage of here. That's abuse of the rules, I think.
I am going to buy an extra die with threat real quick.
Yep.
Or real slow, I guess. I don't know.
Deal.
Where's the
The ship miraculously manages to help.
You got the ship, cool.
I forgot it. However, Devrai is what she's doing is pre-calculating potential routes and offering them to you, lowering the mental load you have to do to calculate where you're going next. And you are apparently ignoring most of the telemetry she suggests because you have a different plan in mind.
She's about 1 step behind me right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, she's not yet caught on to your plan of creating a dust cloud behind you, but it does appear to be working. As for this one moment, you do not take any phaser fire. However, as you're tapping your fingers across the screen,
I don't have fingers.
Flippers.
oh, you don't.
Or nose, I suppose, to interact either way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry. Like, just the way you said that sounded like so like matter of factly to me. It made me
Yeah.
chuckle. Okay, I am spending 2 threat, making a
Yeah.
complication.
Yep.
Okay. As you were tapping as you were interfacing with the device through your flippers and however else, you begin to feel a pinch of panic, and I'm going to ask you to make a. You are not undergoing the same stress test that not Husia, that Sixes was, because your task already has a much more innate end time of when it blows up. However, in this one case, I'm spending threat to have you roll to calm your nerves. So difficulty 3, fitness. I'll say fitness con in this scenario because it's about keeping yourself calm and cool and focus on the task at hand.
Actually,
At Flipper.
Yeah. GM. Duh.
are being shot at.
Yeah. Difficulty on this, you said?
I'm sorry, what?
3.
Difficulty on stress?
3.
Cool. I will spend 1 momentum and 2 threat here for 4 dice.
Oh.
Focus in survival or 0G.
Survival.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is only 2
You are-
hits.
You are 1 short, which means sure, I will roll stress damage, although it doesn't really matter. Sure, you take 1 point of stress damage, and your comp range goes up for the next round. As you are hit with nerves about impressing the professor. Okay. And okay.
Do
Okay,
I need to roll work on the.
Yes, you need to roll work.
the track
Yes,
now?
we did. We skipped that though. The order doesn't really matter.
4 plus.
Minus 2 is still 5.
Yep, I will leave that.
You have 500 rolls left again. And on this next task. Oh, I miscounted the. I just okay. Sorry, it's magnitude 4, and you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 work. Minus 2 is 5. Oh, sorry. So the work is 5 out of 10. Okay,
Yeah.
I can do math. Okay, the work is 5 out of 10. Okay. The difficulty has been lowered by 1, so that means the difficulty is 2. However, I'm spending 4 threat. The difficulty has been raised to 4. The Klingons are, in response to this dust cloud, they are amplifying the number of beams fired in unfocused shotgun approach. You have to be able to navigate around series of blasts that are coming from the multiple vessels.
Okay.
Okay. That's diff 4. And the comp range is +2 minus your 1, so I think it's comp 2.
Yep, comp 2. I'd like to invoke River Dolphin as a trait again to lower the difficulty by 1.
Sure.
Okay, difficulty 3. Magnitude 5. Yeah, so much magnitude. Okay. I'm just going to spend 4 threat for
Okay.
3 threat.
3 threat. Okay. So you succeed. The telemetry from
Generate-
the doctor or from the
generating
professor helps.
4, 5, 6, generating 6 momentum. I would like to spend 2 of that to generate an advantage that the shotgun approach of the Klingon disruptors is turning the dust into a plasma.
Mm-hmm. And are you asking for another extra interval?
Yep.
All right. Roll me your challenge dice.
Another interval, basically.
3, 4, 6. That's 6 minus 2 is 4 work.
Will work. I will spend 1 momentum to take that up to 5.
Okay. And you get another breakthrough. Or you got 2 actually, because that brings the work
I break
track
the work
to
track
10.
as well, yeah. So 2 breakthroughs.
Okay.
Takes me to magnitude 3.
2. Nope, because first magnitude 3 and then magnitude 2 is yeah. Okay. You are missing this. The approach the Klingons took has created an air of heated gaseous plasmas in your wake, which has made it even harder for them to track you. You are now more confident than ever that you will manage to make a break for the edge of the solar system. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Now let me. Sure. And that's when you start to hear an extremely loud crying baby. There are passengers on board here, and one of them has become very scared from all of the noise and excitement, and the noise is penetrating all throughout the ship. And in their attempts to quiet the baby, the civilians appear to be making the noise even worse. So, I am spending 4 threat, which is increasing the complication range by +2 again. Which should mean the final comp range evens out to +3, and I'm spending 4 more as the Klingons have begun to pull extra. The Klingons have, upon realizing the failures of their techniques, no longer using disruptors and have swapped to manually targeted torpedoes that will hopefully cut through the plasma. So that means the difficulty should be 2 at this point.
Okay.
Because it was down to 0 +2. So difficulty 2, challenge 3.
Question. Can I turn off my universal translator and therefore just have a baby crying be some amount of noise that does not invoke any particular emotional response because I am a river dolphin?
No.
Oh.
For the same reason that a human would experience distress if they saw an injured, scared baby dolphin like beached on the shore, you are experiencing distress because a child is in a state of distress. So, unfortunately, no.
I mean, that makes perfect sense. But I was going to ask.
It was a good point to ask.
Yeah.
If your character was canonically a psychopath, I wouldn't have punished you like that. But I don't.
Yeah.
You've not previously established.
Nope. I have previously established as an empathetic character.
So you get for caring for people.
Yeah, curse me. All right.
Starfleet Academy knows your weaknesses and will use it against you. Yes, it's called a stress test. That's the idea.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to spend 2 momentum and no, let's spend 3 momentum actually. Go for 4 dice. Focus in helm operations here still.
It still applies.
Yep.
Yeah, still applies. Go ahead. Sorry.
Cool. And did we already apply River Dolphin as a trait to difficulty of maneuvering?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, diff 1.
Cool. No. 4.
Ooh.
Hey, I hit it. It was diff 1.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Generate 1 momentum.
You
Oh no, wait, I
generate
get a
one
reroll from
momentum.
Advisor. I get a reroll from Advisor.
you
I get
sure
a
do.
reroll 1 if I misses.
Comp. You reroll the 1 if you're brave, you know.
I'm not rerolling the 1. There
Oh
we
my
go.
God. Okay. Another
2 more.
momentum.
Back up to 6.
You are.
Cool. Now, count dice. I'm gonna spend 1 to re-roll that.
Go ahead.
Re-rolling 4. There we go. Much better.
Okay. So
7, I believe.
So that's 7. So I believe that means you complete the challenge.
Getting
any work done on the work track. I think I have to spend 1 momentum still.
Go
No,
ahead.
'cause you did at least
there
5,
was
so
this.
it's still.
No. All right, 7 was. I did math wrong.
Mhm.
In an unprecedented turn of events, I, person who is astonishing, made a mistake.
Okay. So, the Klingons the unnamed antagonistic forces are unable to get a successful lock on your runabout. Your piloting skills are simply too quick, and you reach deep enough into the nebula that the enemy forces break off their attack. The crying baby begins to quiet as it is disintegrated back into its constituent pixels, and the runabout begins to disappear from view. Professor Tavral, as Vulcan would, looks inscrutable as ever, but she says, "You have successfully completed the test. I will make full note of your efforts and report on them shortly."
Thank you, Professor.
Good day. And she kind of just waits for you to leave.
Yep. Just, disconnect from whatever apparatus allows me to control a ship and be on my way.
Yeah, as you're walking out, your friend
Not
and
walking.
sorry. As you are fluidly moving through 3-dimensional space in a term that can vernacularly describe as walking, you bump into Jason Auburn, who is himself about to take the test. He seems shockingly calm and normal, and says to you, "Oh, hey, Tick Twatley, how are you doing? How did your test go?"
There were many stressful events, but I think it went all right.
You believe it went all right?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I did all right.
The professor, the Vulcan, she wasn't too much of a hard ass, was she?
No, she gives some she made some insightful comments during the run, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I get the feeling she doesn't like me, but what does that matter? See, when you're as important as I am, what's one professor going to do? And look, buddy, I just wanted to let you know that, and he kind of like puts one hand on one of your flippers and says, "When I'm admiral, I won't forget your kindness." And then he walks in. He walks into the chamber under a strong sense of confidence that you are unsure of how earned it is.
Man's on drugs.
Yeah. My guess too.
Yeah. Cool. Hopefully it's going to be concerned about Jason, but also feels slightly stubbed. So is going to continue on to like cafeteria or something and go talk to some of the cadets who finished.
Apologies, I was chewing. Yes, you leave the testing bay and walk back to the dormitory wing of the section of the academy you're in, and you find Sixes, Sherhoff, Auburn is over here, Cordero's over here. These two are both getting tested. You find Korhesh, Sata, and Avoth. All of you guys are now having completed 2/3 of the exam, and now must move into the more cooperative element of the exam later. That is to be tomorrow.
Right. I will go over to Avath and ask, what did they have you up against?
He clears his throat and says, what else can you test an honorable engineer to engage in? The engineering bay was undergoing a series of increasingly dramatic failures, and I met them with as much might and ferocity as you can expect any mechanic to meet them with. He kind of then like huffs and looks down and says, I did my best, but I fear it was not enough.
It's like a couple times in solidarity. Yeah. Well, as long as you've shown yourself well, I'm sure that'll reflect on the professor's reports.
What did they have you do?
Bunch of dodging and weaving, flying between disruptor bolts.
Disruptor bolts? Oh, I'm sure they had you fighting the Romulans.
They wouldn't say who I was supposed to be fleeing from.
I see.
But I have a suspicion that those programs haven't been updated in a long time.
Yes, some are slow to forgive, the others the other. It's an unfortunate trait many share. I believe we can only look at the present day. You cannot judge a man by the actions of his father.
I agree. I'm pretty sure there was a D7 in there, though. Like, seriously, we didn't have holographic testing when the D7 was in use.
Pet simulator.
He kind of looks surprised and then says, "Well, you must consider that relations between the Klingon and Federation empires are on the decline. It is possible what you are experiencing was not something out of date, but rather something recently updated."
Then we'll just have to demonstrate to the Federation that there is camaraderie to be built between our peoples.
He raises his glass and says, I'll drink to that.
And down something fishy along with him.
Yeah, Cadets Shisherhoff and Korhesh both look pretty confident in themselves. Sata looks pretty enigmatic. You're not really sure at a first glance how well she thinks she did. And yeah, the day will wind down, and let me know if you have any major events planned before the next page of the test tomorrow.
Do we know yet whether we get to whether we're assigned groups or whether we're choosing groups for this group project?
I will spoil it for you now. The people you'll be working with in the group project include the people that you have been interacting with this whole session. You are part of the same work.
Shocking. Okay. I think at that point, Cocktail is going to put forward to the group of cadets that they should go out and get some refreshments and just kind of bond a little bit before the group stage.
Okay. Sixes, do you concur with this plan?
Winchester?
Yeah, sixes will go with the plan.
All right. Then I want you to make a presence command difficulty 2 check to convince your classmates to go out and have a night of revelry with you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And you can be assisted by Sixes, who is also voicing support this way.
That presence command? Cool, that's a 9. Love that. No focus. Never might generate help. I'm gonna. What's difficulty on this?
2.
Here? 2. Okay, cool. I will buy 1 die with momentum.
Okay.
Hey, we made it.
You are unsuccessful in convincing the class to go out. However, Shasherha hears this idea, and about 20 minutes later, after you suggested this idea, and people, kind of like shrugged their shoulders and were like, maybe, she is going to suggest the idea as if she was the one who came up with it.
Uh-huh.
Didn't they hit the diff 2 though?
Oh, you did hit the diff 2.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I didn't see the. Okay, then I lied. Then no. Everyone enthusiastically agrees to go along with this plan.
But Shashira still claims it's her idea.
Yeah. Yes, but later on, tomorrow morning, Shasherhoff will claim that this was her idea all along, and that she merely went along with you claiming to do it originally. She says that she told you of this plan first.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Where are you planning? You are in San Francisco, one of the hearts of the Federation. There is all sorts of things to do on the town. Where do you plan on going?
I feel like there's some God. There's got to be basically sanitized dive bars in and around Starfleet Academy that are mostly frequented by cadets. And they're not really dive bars because they're frequented by Starfleet cadets. But they make the pretense of being dive bars.
Yes, they have wood paneling and slightly dingy music and rock music popular 35 years ago. And
servers
decorations
who pretend not to care, but are actually paid very well in not paid, but you know what I mean.
It's what do you call it, K-fob, where the whole thing is everyone pretends that this is a much more dumpier place than it really is. When in reality, this is clearly a upmarket establishment designed to, funnel credits out of nerdy kids who don't really know any better and just want this kind of experience. This is not
exactly. The actual dive bars are 30 kilometers further away from the academy.
I don't know if there
kids
are
go
any
there.
dive bars on Earth anymore. Not really.
You have to go to the moon where the real action is.
Okay. Here's what
I'll live
I'll
dangerously. I'll just go to a abandoned industrial area, plug into a random outlet with some robots. You know, that'll be our risky entertainment.
Yeah, totally.
I don't think it's recommended action to go plugging your port into random holes like that.
I mean, doesn't stop people, though.
I was trying to be a little. I was not being so explicit.
I sorry. Okay.
We
So you're
were
not
you
going with them,
though?
or are you still going with them?
Um, yeah, I'll be the designated cadet or whatever. This is
Okay.
our PSA.
You're there to
Okay.
make sure we get back into our bunks at a reasonable hour.
Those of you I want to succeed.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Well,
Let's get to see the bridge.
So all of you are going to head out and have a nice night on the town.
Yeah.
Out of everyone, Avoth and Lorg seem, or sorry, same person. Avoth and Cordero both seem a little antsy about their performance. But other than that, everyone seems either stoic or pretty confident in their performance. And yeah. Here. I can either make this a difficulty 0 test to try to make some momentum, or are you specifically looking to create like the camaraderie advantage for your next task?
I think I'm trying to create an advantage here.
Okay, then I will say that this is
Difficulty 2 for an advantage, I believe.
difficulty 2. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
figure out what I'm determining for this. Presence, reason. I think it would be something like presence command because you are trying to not forcefully, but you are trying to get people to all believe in something that they don't currently really believe in, and I think that
Mhm.
requires some light touch, but still a force of will.
Oh, yeah, it absolutely does. Shame I don't have that. Let's see. Do I anything for this? I mean, I could try to poke the sheriff, but I think this is my rule. Ultimately. Cool. I'm going to spend 3 threat, roll 4 dice here.
Go
No
ahead.
focus. Do I have any assists on this?
Yes. Sata seems very interested in assisting you. She's been pretty quiet, but she suddenly seems very interested in making sure you succeed. And sure. And Shashera, I'll say she's trying to assist, but she's too self-centered and vain to really produce any successful results. So you're kind of like succeeding in making everyone like each other in spite of her actions.
Got it. That roll. We might have 2 rolls here in a second. But thank you, Nat 1.
Okay.
Cool. We generate 1 off of that then.
Yeah, and I'll say you have the camaraderie advantage. Okay. As you all successfully you spend enough of a night together that you all come to appreciate each other's company and begin to work together as a team, which might be important for what comes next. Okay. Give me 5 minutes to prepare for this.
always been the DD and parties like this. It's not usually not that bad if the place offers like free drinks for the.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, free soft drinks, free tea, like awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Better relieve the two of you have like a Kirk protocol or something as they make sure that you guys didn't cheat on your tests. Like, wait, you weren't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily supposed to do well on those. Let's go over those. Make sure you didn't reprogram the holodeck or anything. No. We just acted in very unconventional ways you weren't prepared for.
Yeah, exactly. We're Starfleet cadets. We did the unexpected.
Well, plus they're
Yeah,
being
no.
tested by an exocomp and a dolphin. So
Uh-huh.
It's less that, like, yeah, I'm sure there is a lot of investigation as people go, wait, did they cheat? But then they also ultimately just determine that no, sometimes sometimes cadets are unexpectedly good at tests, and well, we're going to hand it to them because they both of you were clever and came up with solutions to the test that they didn't anticipate, thus letting
Mm-hmm.
you succeed where they previously thought it would be basically impossible to do so.
Yeah.
So. Okay. So. Okay, we've got enough time to run through this. I will be honest, in my initial plan for the episode. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. If you've got 10 minutes at most, Winchester, that is fine. We can call it there. Here's what I'll have you do. I will have you both roll for I will have you both make a roll, and then I will use that to make an average success of what you did on the test. So on the last part of the test. So we'll say difficulty 4. We'll say difficulty 4, complication range 2, and it will be daring helm and daring medicine, as you were both put in a combat scenario in which you are on board a original Constitution class vessel and put up in a combat scenario against an original series era D7. I apologize that we won't be able to do it in full, but I was kind of eyeballing how much time everything would take, and I wasn't sure if we were going to get to it.
I mean,
So,
better to have too much than too little sometimes.
yeah, I was also banking on there being more people here, so
Yeah,
I kind of made things longer. When there was just only 2 of you, I was like, I'll make this longer because I didn't want it to end in 20 minutes. Okay. Yeah, which one of you wants to go first?
I can take the first roll.
Go.
Sure.
Helm operations reduced by river dolphin trait.
Mm-hmm.
Complication range down by 1. Three-dimensional thinking. I mean, I haven't used my information, so I might as well now. I'll use that to get a free hit. And I will spend 2 momentum to grab a third die as well. That is 6 hits from me.
6 hits. Okay. So you succeed on your part of the exam with flying colors. And then Winchester, last roll of the night, difficulty 4, complication range 2, daring medicine to represent your competition, your overall. Yeah.
3 threat and spend 3 momentum.
All right.
Oh.
2. Okay. Okay. So you do pretty good, but not perfectly. Now let me tabulate up your scores. 15, 18, 8, 14, 19, 22, 23, 22. So that's 8, 13, that's 15. Okay. 19. Okay. Okay. off of your rankings. Congratulations, Cadet. Cadet Tix Slothel. You are the valedictorian of the class of 2383, with your score being technically over 100, because you did very well with very few mistakes in all 3 portions of the exam, and then scored some extra points for your extracurricular activity and for your receiving a professor's accommodation after you sufficiently impressed Rawl that she wrote a letter accommodation that raised your score even higher. That means you receive basically a posting of your choosing, that you can go anywhere you want in the stars, because all sorts of captains believe that you are the next greatest helmsman in Starfleet and are offering you a position.
Yeah.
Cadet Sixes, you got a medium to high score, which means that you are put into a decent or a good but not amazing medical school, and you are still on track to have a solid career in Starfleet medical for years after the fact. There is a commencement ceremony. Everyone in your class graduates. There was a chance that several of them would not graduate, but they all managed to pull through one way or another.
On use of drugs or otherwise?
Yeah, okay. Now that it's over, I can reveal some information. One of your classmates was a spy leaking information to a foreign power. One of them had managed to break into the systems archive and had successfully overinflated their scores. And one of them should have, by all merits, failed, but called his daddy crying in the bathroom and successfully convinced his daddy to call in some favors to let him just barely pass by with a just barely above passing score. All right. Well, I apologize we did not get to do all of it, but I hope you two had fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And some of the stuff, oops, I have to playing at the moment. So yeah, some of the stuff is going to carry forward into the main line. So I was paying very close attention to what these 2 characters are doing and that little sideline as well. So yeah, so if you do bring these 2 characters in to the main game, they will, since they both did rather well, I'll basically treat them as if they activated twice, because they did rather well in their tests. So they're not just, by the time they get to Halanak Station current story, they are ensigns who have learned a lot before here and there. And Halanak Station, although usually a punishment detail, there is a certain admiral working on a very top secret project who is scouring the galaxy for useful officers, and is going to find out about 2 other ensigns who are about as go-getter as Ven is. So
yeah,
maybe Sixes is gonna join the socialized education to capitalized career path and join up with Kusia.
yeah,
That would be fun.
yeah, he's probably looking for people too, I imagine. But yeah, so that will be our entry into the Starfleet Academy special week. Thanks very much, Becca, for the guest GMing, and
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
$50 is in the mail, I assume. No,
Of course. It's not Canadian dollars, but I did my best.
Well, you wouldn't want to give him Monopoly money.
Get away with you.
God damn it.
Anyway, for all of you watching, thank you very much for watching. For those of you playing and running, thank you very much for doing both. We'll see you all again next time. Bye.
So I think Carpenter gets Academy Professor.
Academy Professor. No.
And the 3 of us get Cadet.
Sounds good.
And then I go